Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of TUG. I am Josiah, and today I'm going to show you guys how I actually build these mushroom villa apartments. First thing you'll want to do is find an adequate spot on the side of your cliff and to build a disc coming out from the side. Once you have the shape of your disc, go ahead and fill it in. Beautiful! Now begins our quest to make this place look a little more natural. To do that, start off by making your selection tool the smallest possible size. That ought to do it. Surround the top layer of your disc with your preferred material. Make sure that when you're building, you completely surround the corners, as this will become important later on in the build. Fantastic. Now remember those corners? Those just became very important as we are going to build spikes vertically up from them. Notice I actually skipped this particular corner, but that's just because I don't want the spikes to be too close together, as we are going to be expanding the bases of them. Perfect. Now that we have the spikes, we can go ahead and add the roof. In order to add your mushroom roof, make sure you have the mushroom selected in your hotbar and press 5 on your keyboard. This will allow you to edit the size of the mushroom. Before we go any further, let's make sure that the spikes on the bottom are the right shape and look a little more natural. In order to do this, come up to the spike and you'll notice that the square selection tool kind of helps you out with this. On one side, near the bottom of the spike, bring it out by 2. Then go up vertically 1 block on the spike and bring it out by 1. This creates more of a natural stalactite shape. Great. Now let's make sure that our stalactites actually support the mushroom roof and bring them up and over the top of it. In order to make this part look natural, try freeforming it a little bit. One side does not have to be a mirror image of the other. That on certain spots, the spikes push up through the mushroom. We're actually going to round those out now. Support for the roof looks a little more natural. You'll notice that I built the curves of the spikes only to this top lip of the mushroom. From here we're actually going to connect all the spikes. They don't have to be connected all in the same way or in a straight line. Just kind of freestyle it. Obviously, in real life, if this sort of building existed, it would fall right off the edge of the cliff. But to take away from that idea, we're actually going to take the rib cage looking structure and connect it to the cliff itself. To go about doing that, just connect the cliff to your spike structures, then build out and around the lip of the mushroom. There's one side done. And there's the other. It's starting to look pretty good. So far, every change we've made to the building has been above the disk that we created in the very beginning. But now we're going to go just below. The next thing we do also has to do with support. You'll want to take your selection tool from being very small to going up to the medium size selection. That size will work just fine. Now try to find the very center of the disk. Go in from the edge of the lip just a little bit and start to build down. Slowly bring this structure towards the cliff. Doesn't have to be perfect because we'll go back and edit it here in just a second. Now you'll want to take your selection tool and make it the smallest size possible again. All you have to do now is go through and get rid of the corners. Obviously, a structure this large would not be supported by one single piece. So we're actually going to make two more. However, this time, for the sake of not being too uniform, we're not going to have it come out from the cliff. We're actually going to have these supports be built right into the cliff itself. And from here, we again just delete the corners. And there we are. The curves on it look a little more natural. Remember the corners we built the spikes on? We're actually going to go to those now and build down instead of up. The reasoning behind this is actually to create a natural looking solution for lighting within TUG. At night it can be pretty dark. Instead of using regular torches in order to light up the dark around our building, we're actually going to be using gourd torches, which I believe is part of the in-development build of the game. In order to edit the position of the gourd, you're going to want to hit 4 on your keyboard. That way, wherever you move the mouse, slowly edits the direction the gourd points. In this case, we want it to point straight down. From here, you can take the gourd and place it directly on the bottoms of the spikes. And there we are, hanging lights off the side of a mushroom building. Kinda cool, huh? The last bit of decoration is going to utilize gourd vines. Now you can see a lot of these off the sides of the structures I have already built. These are incredibly important for rounding out the build. Obviously right now we could leave it as it is. However, gourd vines create more light and actually round out the build instead of making it look rigid. For now, start at the back of the mushroom and work your way around the edges near the cliffs. Remember not to place the vines too closely together. If you do, the textures can mingle a little too closely and it'll look unnatural. Something I'd like to point out while building with vines, try not to make them hang straight down the structure. Like on this side, it just barely comes out off the edge of the structure. However, on this side you can tell that the vines clearly found a different route to go down the edge of the cliff. And that's it! I hope you guys found this video tutorial on how to build a mushroom villa fairly helpful. Before I end today's video though, I just want to see if I can change the time to sometime when it's dark. That way you can see what these look like from the inside at night, because I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. And there we are, our little mushroom house. So far the largest one I've built is actually just up here. This one looks pretty awesome. Lots of space and very cool. Well, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And if you'd like, go ahead and send me a link in the comment section down below to anything cool that you have also built in TUG. See you guys next time.